The original Final Fantasy VII is known for its large number of fun minigames, which are amongst the most iconic minigames in gaming history. Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, however, goes one step further when it comes to the number of minigames. But the question is, are they all fun? Are these well-designed minigames? Well, let's find out together as we rank all of Final Fantasy VII Rebirth's minigames. Before we start, I want to know what's your favorite minigame in Rebirth. Tell me in the comments. Alright, let's start off with 3D Brawler, a minigame that already was in the original. In this minigame, you fist fight a blocky enemy until one of you gets KO'd. Sounds simple, but there's actually a good amount of skill required to master this game. You see, enemies attack and you have to dodge their punches until you get a chance to punch back. Dodging works with the left and right stick, and every incoming punch can only be dodged by moving the corresponding stick in the right direction. Landing a hit fills your limit bar, and whoever fills that bar first wins. So this game is all about learning the animations and responding quickly to dodge. It's not easy, but it's also quite satisfying to figure this out. And I had much fun with it, so I rank this in A tier. Next up we have Cactuar Crush. Some might even say that this is barely a minigame, because essentially you only need to fight a bunch of cactus. But yeah, you collect points and the Aerith version even comes with its own combat mechanic, so this counts as a minigame for me. One I didn't enjoy at all. You either fight with Yuffie or Aerith, and while fighting as Yuffie is always fun, there's not much to this. You only need to switch between physical and magical attacks to defeat the cactuars, which really isn't special. With Aerith you need to create light and dark fields to be able to damage cactuars. The more cactuars you defeat, the more points you get. Yeah, there isn't much more to it than that, so as a minigame, I'd rank this in D tier. The next minigame is Chocobo Capture. You see, in most of the regions you need to first capture a Chocobo before you actually own it and call whenever you want. Well, the idea is nice, but the execution isn't, because essentially this is a stealth game. You need to hide from the other Chocobos until you reach the desired Chocobo with the special ability. This is slow, can get frustrating, and therefore not as fun as many other minigames. I'd still rank this in C tier because at least every Chocobo comes with its own mechanics, so to speak. So at least there's a bit of variety to it. Next up we have Chocobo Gliding. This is only available in the Cosmo Canyon region. Here you have to fly through some rings that give you points and reach the end. Pretty simple, and this can be really fun if the controls wouldn't be a bit of a pain. With the left stick you can control your Chocobo to the left and right, and of course to regulate the height. But you can also do the exact same thing with the right stick, which makes no sense at all, since the option to move the camera around is taken away from you. So to be able to see where you're gliding to can get quite annoying sometimes. Still, fastly diving to the ground, then pulling the Chocobo's beak up to get a hefty speedboat upwards is a lot of fun, so I rank this in B tier. Next we have Chocobo Racing, and oh boy, this is a fantastic minigame. Not only are there dozens more tracks than in the original, there's also much more depth to it. You can buy equipment for your Chocobo that changes the stats like acceleration and speed, and also come with a unique skill that can help turn the tables during the race. All the Chocobos you capture during the story are available here, and they each have their own strengths and weaknesses, and also their own special skill. And then the racing itself almost feels like Mario Kart, since you can drift around corners and get a speed boost. There are obstacles, things to collect on the track, like additional dashes and so on. So I had an absolute blast with Chocobo Racing, so much so that I really hope Square Enix puts out a standalone game. Easy S tier from me. Next we have Crunch Off, a minigame that already existed in Final Fantasy VII Remake. And in Rebirth, it's essentially the same. You press the shoulder buttons in the right order and try to get into a fluid movement by timing the button presses right. With increasing difficulty, the game introduces more mechanics like half pressing and holding one button, then pressing it full after a while. It's straightforward, but nothing special if we're honest. At least not as special as this beautiful subscribe button you can always click if you're enjoying this video. Anyway, I rank this in B tier because I like games that are rhythm based. So now we got Desert Rush, another game we already know from Remake. Here you need to play as Cloud, basically just smashing boxes that increase your score. The twist in the Rebirth version is that there are boxes you can't destroy until you have destroyed the right number of these electricity boxes. This way, this game becomes like a puzzle because you need to figure out the best route to maximize your score. And since there is a time limit that can be expanded by smashing certain boxes, this minigame can get quite thrilling in my opinion. I would almost rank this in A tier actually, but sadly there are many courses, so I'd rank this in B tier instead. The next minigame is Dolphin Escape, which is a bit meh. I mean, the idea is awesome. Riding a high-speed dolphin on a track to get a best lap time? Great. But yeah, it's a bit lackluster because there isn't really anything happening on the track. Yeah, you jump off some ramps and avoid some small obstacles, but that's pretty much it. So yeah, let's make this quick. C tier. Fort Condor is another one returning from the original and was already featured in the intermission DLC from Remake. And what can I say? I like some parts of it more than in the 1997 original, and some parts frustrated me. What I really like about Fort Condor is the strategic element to it, because choosing which set of units you want to battle with and what heroes you want to use is really important. The matches can get quite intense because your resources are limited, and once the boss spawns, there's a time limit. That's all great stuff, and I had a lot of fun playing this minigame. On the other hand, I thought everything was a tiny bit too difficult, resulting in frustration. And that's not even mentioning the hard mode. It would have been cool to have this in the Gold Saucer, and if it would have been possible to collect units and create your own army. Still, the Fort Condor minigame in Rebirth is a great new take on the original and super fun, which is why I rank this in A tier. Next we have another classic. G-Bike is probably one of the most iconic minigames in any video game, and for a good reason. In Rebirth it's still fun, but not as fun as it was in the original, to be honest. There are two reasons. One is that there's no real weight to Cloud's attacks, and I felt like it's not as satisfying as in the PS1 version to knock Shinra troops off their bikes. The other reason is that there simply aren't enough enemies on the road. While it's nice to have spinning attack in Rebirth, I felt like there's hardly any reason to use it, and sometimes it feels like I have to wait way too long for new enemies to appear. So this game lacks the action it wants to have. It's still fun, but it feels like there's something missing. So B tier. Next up is Galactic Saviors, which basically is the new version of the roller coaster minigame from the original. While at first it's pretty epic to blast away some enemies with your spaceship, you'll soon realize that there is not much to it other than just holding the square button the whole time and navigating your ship to avoid projectiles. Yes, you need to occasionally heal up and you can use bombs for bigger damage, but that's nothing special. Also, the controls feel a bit weird sometimes, especially when there are multiple enemies, because aiming happens automatically and can switch around awkwardly sometimes. Yeah, not really my thing, so C tier. Gears and Gambits is next on the list, and oh my, I don't know how to feel about this. I mean, I like the idea of it being a tower defense-like game, and that the Gambit system from Final Fantasy XII made an appearance again. I think that's kinda cool, programming your robot to do certain things in certain situations. Maybe I'm too dumb for this game, but that was quite difficult, and the fact that this was bound to the Proto-Relic questline didn't really make it less frustrating. So in the end, the idea is nice, but personally I did not enjoy this minigame. C tier. I put the Junon Shinra March and the Loveless theater scene together because essentially they're the same game. Well, here's the thing. Just like the Honeybee Inn scene in FF7 Remake, these are basically just QuickTime events. So not really compelling. But on the other hand, the Junon Shinra March is pretty iconic, and seeing that stage in a new way was pretty awesome. Also, I'd say recruiting the Shinra troops was part of the minigame, and seeing them following you around, saluting you every time you see them, was hilarious. The Loveless theater scene was pretty cool as well, because the combat sequence was nice to look at and the costumes were great. I really enjoyed watching all of this. So yeah, while this is just a QuickTime event, I still rank this in B tier because they were so fun to watch. Moogle Mischief. What a nonsense minigame. Who thought it would be a good idea to let us lurk the same 5 Moogles into the exact same spot every time? Avoiding their weird spells isn't fun, grabbing them to throw them in there isn't fun, and being bound to a time and hit limit isn't fun either. Yeah, easy D tier. The piano minigame already existed in the 1997 original. In Rebirth, however, the devs massively overhauled it, making it one of my favorite minigames. Like I said, I love rhythm-based games, and of course everyone loves the music of Final Fantasy. So for me, this minigame is awesome. Finding new sheets of music was always a great moment for me, and trying to master these songs was super fun. The only two things that annoyed me a bit was that the best rating is only possible when your timing is perfect for every note, and there could have been more music to play. But for what it is, this is a very basic but super fun side activity. So I rank this in A tier. Next up we have Pirates Rampage. Here you need to shoot stuff and get the highest score possible. It's that easy. Nothing fancy here, and that's what I like about it. But since there are only 2 stages, There isn't really much replay value here. Shooting stuff in a somewhat ideal order can be quite fun to figure out, but it's also not as compelling as most of the other minigames. So I'd say let's rank this one in B tier. And now, finally to the one and only Queen's Blood. I try to keep it short. I freaking love this game. The devs actually managed to create a card game that is equally fun as Triple Triad from Final Fantasy VIII. In my opinion, it's a tactical masterpiece. I won't explain the rules of the game since that would take too long, but let me say that depending on the cards you have and the decks you can build, there is so much depth to it. It's almost unbelievable. Then there are these card puzzles in Costa del Sol and the Gold Saucer that put a spin to the regular matches, so it never gets boring. The difficulty and learning curves are perfect. And then there's even a super interesting quest attached to it that's completely over the top, and I love it. Queen's Blood is a perfect minigame that accompanies you throughout the story and beyond. This one is most definitely an S tier and easily the best minigame in Rebirth. Next up is Run Wild, Final Fantasy's answer to Rocket League? No, it's nowhere near that, but I say it probably takes light inspiration from it. Here you have to run around a field with Red 13 and compete against 3 other teams trying to smack the enormous ball into their goal. That's it, pretty simple but actually quite fun in my opinion. You can even launch the ball into the air and kick it mid-air, which is super cool. There's even another version of it, which is more like billiards because it's precision based. The only thing that's holding this minigame back from being truly great is that once you did it, there's no real reason to ever come back. So ultimately I rank this in B tier. The last one on this list is Toad Jump, and it's exactly what you think it is. You play as a toad that needs to jump. Stay as long as the platform is possible and that's it. Yeah, it's always hilarious to watch Cloud turning into a toad, but that doesn't make this minigame better. It's not annoying or something, it just isn't very enjoyable. So I think it's perfect for a spot in a C tier. So there you have it, all of Final Fantasy VII Rebirth's minigame ranked. Do you agree with my list, and what would you rank these games? Let me know in the comments, and also don't forget to like, share and subscribe if you enjoyed this video. It really helps me a lot and means so much to me. Thanks so much for watching, have a great day, and I'll see you in the next video.